Now, 7 p.m. and this is a regular meeting of the Kaneland Board of Education. We'd like to inform all board meeting attendees that this meeting is being live streamed and archived for access at any time by our community members on the internet within 24 to 48 hours of the meeting's conclusion. And Mr. McCauley, pledge please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And attendance roll call, please.
Mr. Mankivsky.
Here.
Mr. Kleisner.
Here.
Mr. Cook.
Here.
Mr. McCauley.
Here.
Mrs. Simmons.
Here.
Mr. Stallcup.
Here.
Dr. Lawler's absent.
With 6 members present, we have a quorum. And is there anything the board would like to move from the consent agenda to new business? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. Kleisner.
Aye.
Mrs. Simmons.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Mr. Stallcup.
Aye.
Mr. McCauley.
Aye.
Mr. Mankivsky.
Aye. Motion carries 6-0. The agenda is approved. It is now time for board superintendent salutes. I will turn it over to Dr. Rowling.
Thank you. So we have 2 this evening. The first, we want to recognize Jack Bicker. Jack is a sophomore at Kaneland High School. He's here with his parents, Lori and William, and I'm sorry I don't know the brother's name.
Which name? Owen?
Owen. So Jack was cast in the Illinois High School Theater Festival All-State production of Newsies. He will represent Kaneland High School alongside over 70 other talented students from across the state for this prestigious performance at Illinois State University in January. With over 300 students auditioning, this is a huge achievement. He's actually shared the story with me of having to go back, and it sounds like quite an experience. He is also the first student in Kaneland High School history to be a part of the All-State production, so we couldn't be prouder. So Jack, can you join me at the certificate for you. You want to share anything with the group?
Wow. It is a great honor to be representing Kaneland as the first representative in the Illinois High School Theater Fest Association All-State production. I am very proud to be here, and go Knights!
All right, go Knights. There you go. I don't know. We can find out.
Okay.
Our second salute, moving around a lot, we're going to hand it over to Dr. Atkins.
Thank you. First, I'll just share just a quick little thing. This summer, my daughter, who's a junior at Prairie Ridge High School, started screaming and yelling, "Dad, come down here. One of your kids is on TV." And she was talking about Mr. Bicker because it was televised. She's like, "Can you believe it? Kaneland made it and we didn't." So, go Knights.
Did you say absolutely, I believe?
Well, there's been successive teasing from me to her. So anyway, congratulations again. Quite an accomplishment. I'm here to introduce to the board and the community Miss Leah Rosselli. As you know, we had a principal vacancy at the tail end of the summer. I'll be very honest with you as your HR person. I was extremely worried about getting a good candidate pool. We did get a good candidate pool. We made a difficult decision and a great decision, we think. And so, Leah, if you would want to come on up here. We had our typical screening process, interview process with the cabinet, group interviews at the building level with a final interview, informal interview, right, with the superintendent. And we were able to then have Leah join us. She hails from U46, where she's been an elementary principal. I won't take too much of her glory, but welcome, Leah, and the microphone is yours.
Thank you. A little thing about myself. I come from Elgin School District, where I was an assistant principal for 3 years. I have taught in the elementary education world for the last 20 plus years, teaching kindergarten, first, second, ESL, instructional coach, all of the good things that have led me here with my experiences. So I'm very humbled and blessed to have been chosen, and I appreciate that. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome to you.
So, thank you.
And then That is all I have.
Dr. Bogan,
Nothing this evening.
board members? All right. The board appreciates everybody in attendance this evening and invites you to stay as we move into the new business portion of the meeting. We understand that not everyone is able to stay for the entire meeting. We wanted to make sure that you know that this is an open meeting, so you are able to come and go as you need. And we look forward to seeing you at future meetings. Tonight's consent agenda. I'd probably leave too. I'd go too if I could. Tonight's consent agenda contains the following information. Action items: approval of accounts payable and payroll for August 2025. 2, approval of minutes of the August 11th, 2025 regular meeting. Number 3, approval of personnel. Number 4, approval of policies from press, issue 119, second reading. And informational items, the new teacher hire report and student suspension data report. I will now entertain a motion to approve the consent items listed.
So moved.
Second.
And a roll call, please.
Mrs. Simmons.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Mr. Stallcup.
Aye.
Mr. McCauley.
Aye.
Mr. Mankivsky.
Aye.
Mr. Kleisner.
Aye. Motion carries 6-0. The consent agenda is approved. Public comments. Sorry? None. Seeing no public comment, we will move forward. Tonight, the Community Engagement and Finance / Facility Committees met. The committee chairs, if you'd like to provide us with overview and updates to the rest of the Board of Education. Mr. Stallkop, if you'd like to recap the Finance and Facilities Committee meeting.
Sure. We spent the majority of the meeting discussing some information and formatting of presentation. And I think we've settled on the formatting of how that'll be conveyed. We did review some of the current data, and we'll have another draft next time, and we're going to break out the referendum topics, do it by school building, and then a district overview. So thank you for Jackie for generating some reports for us to look at and options, but we think we're gonna have something pretty quickly here that is easily read and understandable.
And the community engagement?
That'd be me. And when you're part of the community engagement, you get a script because we're about communication. So, thank you, David. We discussed the results of a community survey regarding communication practices within the Kaneland School District. Feedback from the community members and staff highlighted both the challenges and opportunities, leading to the development of a comprehensive communications plan for the 2025-2020 school year. Our primary objective of the plan is to transform the district's communication strategy into a clear, streamlined, and effective flow of information, ensuring our community remains well-informed and engaged. Key goals including reducing, not reaching, we don't want to add more, reducing information overload, enhancing clarity in communications, ensuring timely updates, and actively involving parents in the process. Again, we're really working on, I shouldn't say we, I don't know why I added that. David is really working and his team's working on the website, and we're trying to really get staff, parents, community, everybody to go straight to that. And so that will be your one-stop shop for all the information. So to achieve these goals, the district will consolidate the communication outlets into a unified district newsletter that will serve as the primary source for all district level news. The district will also optimize the website for clarity and ease of navigation, clearly outlining where families can find specific information. Additionally, the district will redefine the social media tools as a celebration, as a place of celebrations, not all the other stuff, all the information. Again, can't stress it enough, we want y'all to go to the school website to get the information, firsthand information. So, and then we're also going to use social media for critical updates and things like that. But again, school website, can't say it enough, that's where you need to go to. The district is committed to fostering ongoing parent engagement by creating regular feedback channels to assess communication effectiveness. So again, the survey that was taken, where we've read them, we've seen what your thoughts are and your ideas and stuff like that, and they are being implemented. So anytime you see a survey, please don't just pass by it. Take the time to do it, because it is really important for us to be able to make those changes. And as the district moves forward with this plan, there will be continuous evaluation of the efforts based on community feedback and engagement metrics. So, again, thank you, David, for all the work that you do every day, not just for this meeting. You've done a lot of work. Website looks really great. If you have not gone to it, I will keep plugging it, keep going to that website. And if you're a parent, look at the parent section, students, staff, all that stuff. So please use it as much as you need to. So, thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you, Chairs. All right, we'll move on to new business. The first item of new business is the approval of community solar tentative contract. Dr. Bogan, if you would please provide us with more information.
Yes, Becky Thompson with NANEA is here again this evening. At our last meeting on August 11th, Mrs. Thompson was here to present on community solar, and there were definitely some questions from the board, especially regards to different types of charges, things like that, and also some concerns expressed just over the length of the proposed contract at 20 to 25 years. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Thompson because, as we've talked about previously, things change rather quickly, and even since our last meeting, the questions that were posed, she's been able to go back and do some more research, but things have changed, so she's here to talk about that.
Yes, I'm here for an update, so thank you for having me back. So yes, taking some of the feedback from the last meeting, we did go back out to the market and talk to all of our developers again and said, is there anything that has changed or progressed since the last time that we have evaluated this? And one of the developers did come up with a solution to, I think, some of the questions that we had. So they have a local farm that's opening up in Aurora that has the potential for an open subscription for your school district. So it'd be actually located within Kane County. It has a closer commercial operations date, which just means that it would turn on and be electrified sooner, which means you would start gaining some of those credits and the savings sooner. But it's not guaranteed. They're still kind of working out some of the owner of the field of the farm or the asset where it's at has the right of first refusal, and still they're still working through on their end. But because they wanted to leave that as an option for you, they are offering a 25-year contract that renews in 5-year increments. So it's essentially a 5-year contract with the opportunity to renew up to 25 years. So they have a placeholder for you for that, with the potential for a farm opening up even sooner. So what you see in the packet is a contract from this developer for a 25-year community solar agreement that does renew in those 5-year increments, as there was some concern around just accepting a 20-year flat-out contract up front. It's still the same 10% discount that we discussed. And there was also some questions about the numbers of what we used to calculate the potential savings. So I did provide that to you in between the last meeting and now, and so we can tell you that based off of what we know today with the current ComEd rates and what you have paid historically, estimated savings with that 10% shared discount is about $46,000 annually.
So one of the things that you'll notice, tonight we are looking for approval. Because we don't have the finalized contract from the developer in front of you at this point, and because the market changes so quickly, you will notice that the recommendation that we're asking for approval is for the board to grant me the authority to enter into the contract in the best interests of the district as available. And really the reason for that has to do with timing, because things move quickly, to wait for another board meeting. Even the opportunity that was presented last time is no longer available to us, and so it wouldn't have been available to present to the board for approval. So that is, I think, the biggest change also from last time to this time, in addition to those contract terms.
Our attorney's not reviewed this yet.
It is currently with our attorney. So,
Questions?
So contract's up to 5 years, we can renew it up to 25 years, but we have that option every 5 years. What scenario would there be for us to say, at 5 years, say, we're not gonna renew this contract? If something else came up that's better, what are some of the scenarios?
I think that's a less likely scenario that something came up better. It would be more of you're considering putting on-site solar, your usage is changing in a nominal way, where you would no longer have a use for all of the credits that you were previously subscribed to. So at that point, you could do like a reduction in the credits, or if you're wanting to remove some of the facilities that you had subscribed to it, that would be the more likely scenario that you would have. The contract is structured that it auto-renews at that 5 year unless either party, either you or the seller, gives, I think it's 6 months notice, 180 days notice in advance that you would not like to renew that. So I think there was a question last time about if it were to auto-renew, would they come back and say, now you have a 5% discount instead of a 10? The contract is structured to maintain the 10% discount in its full for the up to 25 years.
Okay.
It's just more of a kind of a safe harbor for you, if you will, so that if there were something that were to change, you close a building or something happens, because 25 years is a long time to see into the future. Many boards will come and go over that period of time, right? So it just kind of leaves that exit door should it be need to utilized in the future.
Perfect.
And we're strictly renting essentially, so we have no obligation on maintenance of this solar farm.
Yeah, you're actually not even renting. You are just, you're not tied to the infrastructure in any way. It's just that whatever electricity is generated by the portion that you are subscribed to that's earmarked for you, ComEd issues credits for that electricity that is generated. The credits by law in Illinois for this community solar program to work the way it's structured. So those credits cannot just go to the asset owner. They can't just go directly to the developer. They have to flow through a third party's invoice. So the entire credits flow through on your invoice, and then the developer would bill you for 90% of those credits, and you retain the 10%. So you're not responsible for any maintenance operations. It's not tied to any part of your infrastructure on your building. There's no out-of-pocket cost. There's no annual subscription fee. Your only obligation is that as the credits are generated, 90% of those will be billed by the developer, so you will pay the developer for 90% of those credits and maintain those extra 10%.
I was more worried about if they're not maintaining their solar panels out there and they're not getting the return that they think they're getting. Do we have any liability in that, or we're still going to get our 10% reduction?
If they're not maintaining and it falls by the wayside, for example, and then the credits are not being generated, then you're just not paying the developer. Like, they won't bill you for any of those credits. You just won't receive those credits on your invoice. So you have no stake of ownership within the actual infrastructure itself. So if they're not maintaining or something goes off, you won't be liable. I think it would just be grounds for termination of your agreement at that point. If you're looking at the agreement, that would probably fall under events of default, would be the language that you would be referencing in the contract. Yep.
Any other questions? Debate? We'll now entertain a motion that the Board of Education authorizes the Assistant Superintendent for Business, Dr. Jackie Bogan, to finalize and execute a community solar contract on behalf of the district pending legal review with the option that best meets the district's financial and operational needs.
So moved.
Second.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Aye.
Mr. Stalka?
Aye.
Mr. Mankivsky?
Aye.
Mr. Kleisner?
Aye.
Mrs. Simmons?
Aye.
Mr. McCauley?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. The community solar contract is approved pending legal review. Second item of new business is a report on the opening of the school year. Dr. Rowling, if you could provide more information.
Absolutely. So we welcomed our staff back on August 11th, and we welcomed our students back on August 13th. It was a great first day. I want to thank Mr. Chavez for riding around in the bus with me. He didn't get to choose. He was voluntold to do that, but we did ride around on a bus and pick some students up. It was a good time. Some brief highlights from our schools. At Blackberry Creek, they have become a one-rule school. They will work to tie all building expectations back to this one rule. Mr. Fox has turned it into a jingle. And if you know Mr. Fox, you think he turns everything into a jingle. So the EC through first grade friends are learning the rule through the song. They start each day reviewing the rule and in each classroom and on the announcements. There is a video that I'll share with the board in this week's update of some of those things going on. At John Shields, they are excited about the new math resource. It's been going great. Staff members took advantage of the opportunity to collaborate with Ms. Vaklovic on her Touchpoint Day to learn more about using the new materials. And we have some photos, again, that I'll share with you for our kindergartners learning how to use the math manipulatives. At Stewart, the teachers and students love the new LED lights and dimmers. I even got a nice email from a staff member thanking me for that. I told him I had nothing to do with actually installing the lights or the dimmers. Fifth grade students led the CHAMPS expectations on the second and third day for all the students to learn the expectations. And we are very proud of their leadership. And students are enjoying the start of school. At KME, Ms. Kathy Ranzio applied for a grant through the Montgomery Foundation and was approved for $500 to purchase winter gear, snacks, and other school essentials for our students. And I saw the picture. She got like the big check, right? I love the big check. Our students are embracing the school-wide theme of superheroes this year. 4 of our fifth graders painted the front doors with a quote that's saying, "A hero is someone who helps others to spread kindness and support building our community through the building." At Harder, they continued their tradition of welcoming new Kaneland 7th and 8th graders by bringing them down to the cafeteria during homeroom, providing them with some Kaneland swag, a drawstring bag, some magnetic clips they can use in the lockers, and a Kaneland stress ball, which every middle school student needs. The Student Services Department introduces themselves so the students know who they are and they feel comfortable with them at Harder. The students always comment how they feel welcomed coming to Harder, so great job welcoming our new knights. At the high school, we had a great start to our athletics. Couple of student athletes that are getting some good development and moving along the way. And then we had a really well-attended student orientation. Ms. Cattell told me that there was standing room only almost, but that the SRO's joke flopped. So we had to work with him on his jokes. So that helped all of our new freshmen and other new students get off on the right foot. So it's been a great start to the school year, and we look forward to continuing the positive vibes. Any questions?
What's the rule?
What is, I don't remember.
If what you are doing interferes with learning, hurts someone's heart, or prevents you from being your best self, you should not be doing it.
All right, that's
And
good
it's
rule.
real easy to tie those back. So if you're like talking to a student, you're like, which one of these? And they're like, well, I hurt someone's heart. And we talk
Okay,
about that.
there you
But
go.
all expectations are tied back to those 3 things.
Perfect.
It just helps them not have to switch of like, what's the rule in this room or this one? It's the same no matter where you go.
That sounds good. Great.
Terrific. You didn't sing it though.
Honestly, he played it for me, and it's one of those like once you sing it, you can't unsing it. So I just was like, oh.
Got it.
Anybody else? Okay, terrific.
All right, there's no action necessary for the report on the opening of the school year. The third item of new business is the e-learning schedule revision. Dr. Rowling, if you could provide more information, please.
Absolutely. So we do use e-learning days as an option when we have inclement weather. That does not allow for students to attend in person. Last year, the e-learning plan was adjusted to include second graders in the Blizzard Bag program to meet the developmental needs of our students. This year, based on feedback from a lot of people, quite honestly, we did work on an adjusted schedule to bring to the board. The schedule reduces the amount of time that the students are on a Google Meet to 25 minutes per period. And during that time, teachers will instruct, prep students on what the activity for learning will be. They will work through their day pretty quickly in the morning, And then in the afternoon, they'll have independent work time to demonstrate learning through some sort of an assignment that they would be given. So this is something that we have worked with our KEA and SPEAK partners on. It does not change any of the other expectations in terms of what our employees or students are doing. What it does is reduces the amount of time that they're sitting in front of a computer. And if anyone has done an all-day Zoom training, you know what I'm talking about. And so this is actually a model that's used by a number of schools in Northern Illinois. Any questions I can answer?
Are the teachers available in the independent
Yes.
work time?
Yeah, so teachers will have you have an office hours section, and they are also expected to monitor their emails.
Any other questions, comments? I will now entertain a motion that the Board of Education approves the e-learning schedule as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Second. And a roll call, please.
Mr. Stalkup.
Aye.
Mr. Mankivsky.
Aye.
Mr. Kleisner.
Aye.
Mr. McCauley.
Aye.
Mrs. Simmons.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. The e-learning schedule is approved. The fourth item of new business is the online curriculum documents and update. Dr. Rowling, if you could provide more information.
Yeah, I'm going to hand this one off to Dr. Horn, who's going to walk through some resources that are available to parents to understand our curriculum.
All right, good evening. 2 board meetings ago, during a Topics for Future agenda, it was requested that we bring forth the curriculum documents and updates on the website. I do want to recognize Mr. David Chavez for all of his hard work on the website. This was something that was done in conjunction in his role and his capacity. These documents were reviewed at the Ed Committee at the last Ed Committee meeting, and now we're bringing them forward to the board. So if you are on our district webpage and you go to the departments link, go to the Department of Teaching and Learning, which was formerly known as Department of Educational Services, click on Teaching and Learning, and what you can see first, front and center, are the curriculum documents. We have them organized by elementary, middle, and high school because the learning needs and the interaction are very different. What you have at the early stages, EC5, go ahead, Dr. Garland, and click on those. The documents are geared more toward parents than they are towards students. Obviously, you want student ownership throughout the course of education. It looks very different at the high school than when you're working with a first or second grader. So we have this linked in user-friendly parent language, and you can go through for parent resources at home, and it's broken down by grade level, by content standards, very accessible for our parents. This is a work in progress. These are living, breathing documents. We're always refining our curriculum. We're always working to make improvements. This year, the largest curriculum overhaul that's happening at the elementary level is within math. So the math, as we roll that out and refine it, that will look different 2-3 years down the line than it does today. So these are not static documents. When you go to, if you go back to teaching and learning, when you go to the middle school level, it is broken down by grade level and by content. At the elementary level, your
Uh-oh.
oh.
It's middle school.
It worked like 2 weeks ago.
It was working
401's code.
2 hours ago. Okay, we'll get that up. Like I said, it's a work in progress. Maybe the bot didn't like the way it was working. All right, so at the middle school level, once we get those up for you, it is by grade level, it is by content. So you'll have ELA, you'll have math, you'll have social studies. So that way teachers and students can work around what the overall target is for whatever the unit happens to be. When you get to 9-12, students are earning credit. So we want to make sure that we're communicating what the not just the standards that they're working on, but what the actual units of study are. When you are on, okay, sorry.
He's determined.
Yeah.
to get it.
What we can always do is maybe link this in the board update, because we will get this up. 9-12, we have a lot to communicate. At all levels, we have a lot to communicate, but it is about courses that students have available. So on here, we do link our course offerings handbook so that you could be working on classes that you're going to be wanting to take in the future. Go back, Dr. Garland.
Quick question, on this one, can you do like a Control F lookup? Or is there any kind of lookup function for the course guide? Keyword lookup or anything like that?
It's a PDF.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Control F and then
Yeah.
whatever. Keywords.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure, did you have to download that first? No. Okay, no, so that just right when it's linked.
What is it, 52 pages?
86.
Yeah, it's
86
long.
pages? Some light reading. All right, cool.
Yeah,
As long
it
as
is
an
long.
easy way to get to something I want to look at, you know, what a student wants to look at. Perfect.
Yep. And then if you go back to the 9-12 documents, the scope and sequence, this will break it down by department and by unit of study, and will give you approximate time for about how long things are going. So just click on math, and then go to, I don't know, geometry, sure. About how many weeks each unit of study. So parents working alongside their students can have an idea of about what the students are working on. When students get to high school, what we really want to see is a lot of the work being put onto the student. Teachers are communicating with students primarily through Canvas. So this is intended as a worksheet parents can have when students are falling behind. How are you doing with your proofs in geometry? Looks like you're on that. Student can then jump onto the Canvas page and show the parents, and the communication is best between student and teacher always. But this gives parents a guide to help work alongside their students. Okay, can you answer any questions aside from the broken link?
We'll get that resolved first thing in the morning.
Okay, thank you. So we'll get the middle school link taken care of, and in our weekly update, we'll make sure that the board has a link to that. All right, thank you.
Great, thank you. There is no action required for the online curriculum development documents and update. Fifth item of new business is a review of school improvement plans for the 2024-2025 school year. Dr. Rowling, if you could provide more information, please.
Absolutely. We will be inviting our principals up. They will be presenting information on the success of last year's school improvement goals. Clearly the security is working. Okay.
Okay. For Blackberry, obviously we knocked it out of the park, and so we're going to do it again this year. No. In all seriousness, we wanted our students in grades K through 5 to achieve 70% or higher on the post-assessment for the addition and subtraction domain. That is our second domain we get to in the year. We embedded our place value domain within that. This shows you where we started the domain, where we ended, and then the growth. So every grade level met. We were distinguished for our SIP goal last year, which was truly phenomenal. Everybody was invested in it. Incorporating the kind of three things that really springboarded us to these scores was putting a non-negotiable was flexibly grouping. So we used our pre-test scores to help kind of sort students so that we could maximize the human resources component to make sure students who were on level were getting pushed forward, the students who needed to kind of close that gap or needed more support, that we could put them in a structure that allowed them to move maybe at a little bit slower pace with more adults in that room to help them. Large focus on math facts, which was huge. The amount of growth we had in that was exceptional, and that just helps take a step away from the students. If I know things automatically, I don't have to figure that part out and then go into some of our, those more complex problems. The kids really did a great job, same with the staff. We were super proud of how we ended up, and can't wait to see what this year holds for us as well.
So last year, Shields created a goal around reading for the expectation that all students will increase their scores by 9% from fall to the end of trimester 2. And as you can see, they did meet that goal. They exceeded that goal at 10.7%. And something they're very proud of at Shields is in the last 2 years, they've made more than 20% growth in their reading on that assessment.
Okay, so we were in our second year of focusing on writing at John Stewart, and in this progression, I originally had talked about a 60% growth because we were just making this up based on what we thought would be appropriate. And then as we started going through it, we were like, oh, that's a little bit of a stretch. However, I made a deal with the teachers and the kids. I'm like, February is still, there's so much learning after February. I said, let's make it 50% in February, but still aim for that 60% in May, which is why you can see a February and May target in there. And we did get distinguished. We were working writing, and then they were given a reading passage at their reading level, and then we're supposed to answer a prompt using evidence in their text and making that connection appropriately per grade level. Kindergarten and first worked on just how do you answer a question in a sentence. And then first, second, and third grade did evidence, and then reasoning was fourth and fifth. That's the most complex, so they're really building their responses. You can see first grade knocked it out of the park at the beginning, and they asked to be challenged. And when I would do data chats, we had 4 data chats over the year going over this data with every single class. They said, what do we do next? What's next? So I pushed them and said, let's find the evidence in the text. And so that was also, they had 2 goals they kind of worked on as well. So we are continuing. I can't wait to share our goal this year because we're in our final stages of writing. And yeah, we've seen a lot of growth and very proud of our students and staff.
Last year at McDowell Elementary, our goal was by February, the number of students in 1st through 5th grade assessed within a grade level specific genre writing piece taken in September of 2024 will increase by 35% in the development portion of the corresponding rubric. Across the average, we did meet our goal. We succeeded in grades 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're knocking on the door there in 1st grade. So we're looking to bolster that up in the coming year as well.
So I'll share on behalf of KIPLA. Last year, Mrs. McCoy and the KIPLA staff had drafted a goal around writing as well. Their goal was that 75% of students across both sections of KIPLA, 3rd through 5th, as well as 6th through 8, would increase by 3 scores or by 3 points on a writing rubric. They focused on a CER-C response, which is claims, evidence, reason, and then also conventions. So each student had an individual goal, and they very much looked at it student by student. Their goal was that 75% would increase by 3 or more points on that CER rubric. They surpassed their goal with 82% of students growing 3 or more points. 76 actually grew 4 or more points. So they had some significant growth. In talking with the staff, they really attributed a lot of that to the collaboration that they engaged in, not only with the elementary buildings, but also participating in some writing norming activities that were facilitated by Harder Middle School's instructional coach. And that was one of the key tasks that they really felt like gave them some of the information they needed to succeed. This coming year, the KIPLA students will engage in the school improvement goals within the buildings where they are now housed.
Hey everyone, thanks for having us. So we actually knocked it out of the park. We had a reading goal, And it was based off of iReady. So what iReady does is gives us a percentage of students that should meet their annual typical growth target. And so if you look at it, the end of the year goal was 44% of our students should meet that. I mean, we blew it out of the water because after winter testing, we had 52% of our students meet their annual growth target. I am happy to announce I don't think I've ever said this before in my career, but we had 100% meet their growth target at the end of the year in May testing. So when I learned that information, I was pretty happy. And that's obviously, Harder's got great staff, great people, great students, great parents who care. And we're all literacy teachers, and that's why we chose a reading goal. We're looking, I'm kind of interested, because kids are testing this week, of what that annual target growth percentage will be this year after we had such a wonderful percentage last year. But we will continue with this goal because we do believe everyone is a literacy teacher, and what we can do to help students learn is obviously most important regardless of the subject. So that is Harder.
And I'm back. Some of the things that I highlighted last week actually were part of our SIP goal. So Kaneland High School students at the end of February of 2025 school year will demonstrate 10% improvement in their knowledge of personalized pathways of college and career readiness as measured in the needs assessment and pathway survey. So one of the ways we kept that data track was freshmen on track for first semester, and then second semester the state data, which was 94% in-house and 89 for the state. And then CTE enrollment, we increased it by 18%. A lot of it I don't know if you remember, we gave out the career pathway pamphlet and things like that. It really kind of helped our students understand how our classes and that match what they want to do in the future. Then AP dual enrollment increased by 5%, and hopefully that enrollment goes up even more. I think once we start increasing our dual credit and things like that in the school, it should increase even more. And then our needs assessment in the spring of 2024, we were at 73%. By winter, they were at 83%. So we did increase that by 10%. And I felt like, and it stayed around the same because by springtime of 2025, most of our students are kind of tired of taking surveys. And I don't blame them. We give them a lot of surveys. So that's where we're at.
Any questions?
Was the improvement consistent both with students without IEPs and with IEPs? Are we looking at the same?
For us, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you guys. Your energy, obviously, leader top, and I know your teachers are just amazing too, but they're driven by your energy. So thank you for constantly raising the bar each time. And I know we don't always make it easy on you guys either. So thank you for presenting today and for all the work that you guys have done. And to our new principals too, thank you guys for coming up here and taking the hit when it comes to, but we didn't ask you any questions, but thank you for being up here too and presenting. So really appreciate all the work that you guys do every day and all the support you give us and when we have questions and stuff like that, but also to your parents and your students and your staff. So thank you.
Anyone else? All right, there's no action required for the review of school improvement plans from the 2024-2025 school year. The sixth item of new business is a construction planning update. Dr. Rowling, if you could please provide some more information.
Absolutely. So this is the once a month update I provide the board. So since we last had an update, we had our initial core planning teams meeting for the academic and athletics / PE teams. They met last Wednesday together to get an overview of the process and have some high level conversations. We have developed an initial staff engagement schedule to seek feedback from our user groups for some of the more upcoming projects, some of the things that we're planning earlier. We have held meetings with our transportation and maintenance departments to try to get those plans underway. We hope to break ground on those in the spring. And we have held some initial meetings with prospective furniture partners to help outfit the high school as we do those classroom refreshes. Upcoming, we do have another evening meeting this Wednesday with our academic core team and then our PE and athletics. They will meet separately this time. We are going to be finalizing our furniture partner in the near future. We are going to be holding meetings with prospective playground partners. That's going to be a unique industry, so we're going to work with somebody who does that on the regular. And then we are going to begin engaging with staff for feedback on our upcoming projects as we move through those plans. Any questions?
Have you spoken with the people from the village of Auburn on the playground? Because they've just redid.
Yeah, we did
two
speak.
playgrounds.
One of the trustees is on one of our planning committees.
Okay.
She shared with us a whole packet of information that we can use to identify some prospective partners.
Okay. Because they've had some experience with this.
How many people are on each planning team this time?
There's about 15 on each one, give or take.
How involved are students so far?
We have a couple students that are on the planning committee, and then we will be meeting with the youth advisory board next Wednesday with the architects. So we'll continue to reach out, and then as we get some things going with playground, we're going to go do some panels with our 4th and 5th graders. I love that. All right, so I'm sure they'll have some great ideas.
Definitely.
Any other questions? All right.
There's no action required from the board on the committee construction planning update. It is now time for superintendent and board report. Dr. Rowling, do you have anything to share?
Yeah, just a couple of things. I want to make sure everyone's aware that over the last 2 meetings in July and August, the Kaneland Sports Boosters agreed to fund nearly $10,000 in new athletic and athletic training equipment. The tremendous support helped us purchase 3 new 10x20 tents with sidewalls for outdoor programs for cross country and track and field. They purchased some Kaneland logo golf balls for match play. I won't get any of those because I will lose them all. But the boys and girls programs, I'm sure are enjoying them. New football sideline equipment, including chains and down markers, sideline markers, and pylons, and a brand new hydrocolator. If you're not familiar with that term, it is really hot water, and you soak heat packs in there. So it's doubling the capacity of heat packs that we're able to provide our athletes. And then I know Ms. Schroll will hit on this, but we did have a great Nights Under the Lights evening on Friday. Featured parade of students that participate in different sports in the band, scrimmages, performances by a variety of teams and groups. There was a run-a-thon at the end with our cross country where they shut down the lights for a while and ran in the dark. I didn't run that by the insurance company, but we seem to be all right. But yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. So I want to thank everyone that participated, planned, and attended that event. And that's all I have for this evening.
Dr. Bogan?
Nothing this evening.
Student Representative Sophia Schroll.
Good evening. I hope everyone has had a great couple weeks back. Even though we're only just a couple weeks in, we've had several sports just be like in full swing. Girls and boys golf, they've been golfing every day. They've been playing tournaments nonstop, I think. And then also girls tennis played at home last Thursday. And then as Mr. Rowling said, Kaneland High School also hosts its annual Nights Under the Lights event on Friday. The tradition brings the community together to celebrate the beginning of sports season, specifically fall. The evening featured food trucks, an athlete parade, which we've never had before, watermelon eating contest. Congratulations to senior Natalie Knabb, who won for softball, and then both freshman / sophomore and varsity football scrimmages. And then the girls varsity volleyball team also begins their season tonight with a home match against Genoa Kingston High School at 6 p.m. And then, in addition to sports and activities, there's also been new policies that have been introduced at the high school this year, including the 5-star program, which awards points for student involvement, scanning student IDs for all hallway passes, and then a new rule requiring students to discard coffee or energy drinks if they arrive late to school with them. Student reactions to these changes have been mixed, but the student body is adjusting and will continue to adapt as the year progresses on. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Roll. Board members? Anything? Any topics for future agendas that the board would like to discuss? I'd like to talk about improving participation in the PSAT and MSQT test and making it, since it's no longer specifically funded by state, as the state has moved away from the SAT and College Board into the ACT, figuring out a way to make it ubiquitous for our students. Give them, because this provides a lot, doing well on something like this can provide a lot of opportunities. So I'd like to see that, maybe discuss that. And start, and this will be more education committee, but let's talk about talented and gifted programs going forward. You know, encouraging that and providing support. So.
When did we get the strategic plan furthered after our retreat that we did?
That'll be coming in late fall. So, we're going to start working on work with some partners, and then we'll figure out that schedule.
Anyone else? Okay. It is now time for the second round of public comments. Seeing none, we will move forward to the Board of Education is scheduled for closed session to discuss the Illinois Open Meetings Act, Section 2, Sub C, Sub 1, where there will be no action taken following the session. Therefore, after the vote to go into closed session, the recording of tonight's meeting will be concluded. I will entertain a motion to go into closed session to discuss Section 2, Sub C, Sub 1 at 7:53 p.m.
So moved. Second.
And
Roll call.
roll call?
Mr.
Roll call.
Mankowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kleisner?
Aye.
Mrs. Simmons?
Aye.
Mr. Cook?
Aye.
Mr. Stalka?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. McCauley?
Motion carries 6-0. We go into closed session. Figure we'll start in about 2 minutes.